Welcome to Napa Valley, where every sip tells a story. This beautiful region, known as California wine country, has a rich history dating back to the 19th century. Many of the wines were actually imported from Europe. They were selected for the local climate and soil to be the best fit. Join us as we explore the picturesque vineyards and charming towns, discovering winemaking in the Napa Valley. Over the next 2 days, we'll take you on a journey through scenic sites, stay at a house-turned-hotel, try a few restaurants, and tour 5 of the best wineries in the area. So pack up your bags and come along as we uncork the magic of the wine country. This is our guide on how to travel Napa Valley for a weekend getaway. First stop is Brunch at Sonoma. It's a perfect midway stop on the way to Napa Valley. It's about an hour drive, and Sunflower Caffe looked really nice. They had beautiful brunch classics, nice coffee, and cozy terrace. Let's go in and see how it is. So we grabbed a table at Sunflower Caffe, and they have a big terrace in the garden where we are now, and it's sunny, it's really pretty, and they also provide the blankets. We got avocado, eggs Benedict, and 2 coffees. And we met some people in the line, and apparently most of the people here are coming from the city, aka San Francisco, which kind of makes sense. And thank you. Perfect.
Thank you.
Yes. Enjoy.
Coffee's good.
The place didn't disappoint, so it's a definite recommendation. Also, the location is really great for you to take a stroll in the city afterwards, walk around and enjoy the sun, or visit the Sonoma Historic Museum. It's been around since 19th century, and it's a super cool museum that lets you experience California's history. I recommend going to Sonoma Barracks and Toscana Hotel because they really transport you back in time, and then finishing it off just by enjoying the square.
We're very horrible at planning, but we showed up here, so what can we do?
There isn't much today. We are pretty full. Let me just give most of what we can still book is the sip and stroll, which is a single glass of wine, and then a self-guided stroll around the property.
Oh, that sounds like what we would have done anyway.
Yeah. So we have 2 white wines, and then 2 red wines. Okay. Those are the nice value.
Thank you. This particular place called Berringer Winery. It's known for being the longest operated for 140 years. It started as a family winery, but then it was purchased by Nestle, and then it was repurchased by an Australian-owned winery group or wine group. It's very well known, and it has one of the highest rated wines from this region. But it's kind of disappointing that it's not a family-owned. It would be great if it was like inherited through generations and all of that. But still, so we're just having a quick tour of this part of the property, and it's autumn, so it's all yellow, it's all beautiful. To show you a little bit. stop number 2, and it's called Del Dotto Estate. The reason we came here is because they had clay pots at the entrance, and they also have this beautiful architecture. It's Italian style wine in the area. They have grapes and they also have some olive trees. So we wonder if they also have olive oil. We're gonna figure this out in just a bit. Just need to find the entrance. They didn't have any tours available today, so the only option is to come back tomorrow. It's about 30-minute drive, I think, from our hotel. This place looked really nice. I really like the architecture. The estate is really grand, and we've discovered that clay pots, it's more like decorative because they don't use them anymore for the wine. But apparently the owner really into history of wine, and he likes like knowing of how it was done differently. So that's the clay pots, and they tend to like, they used them before, but this kind of over now. And she also mentioned that there is this modern version of clay pots which are clay egg or something like this. Concrete egg, yeah. So it's like a bit different shaped and therefore a bit easier to maintain. Close to the sunset time, I think, so the light is really pretty.
Saw you through a window, you were with somebody, but you look so damn alone. So I sent a message, asked you how life has been. I am braver through the phone. It's been a long time since you were all mine. In the wilderness, that's where I've been.
We're checking into our hotel. It's really nice. It's sort of this old mansion that they refurbished and redecorated, and it feels like very cozy and homey, but it's also very modern. And we've got the room with this beautiful sunlight. The room itself is not that big, but it feels spacious. So it's just basically this big bed behind me, and then there is a chair in the corner, and this is the light I'm talking about. It's super pretty.
After a long night and some red wine, could you see me like that? Do you see me like that? You showed up, I felt underdressed. There's just something about your body. It's so classical and timeless. Makes me forget where I am. It's been a long time since you were all mine. In the wilderness, that's where I've been. After a long night and some free time, could you see me like that? Do you see me like that?
So it's a nice little town. It has this long river walk and a bunch of restaurants that are sitting on it, and we're going to have a dinner in one of those. And it's just calm and serene, and we got it right before the sunset, so it got the soft colors. And it's about an hour drive from San Francisco, and it's like 30 minutes away from all the biggest wineries. And I think we found a really good hotel in town, and our host was really fun. Tracy, yeah. So Tracy used to work in staging houses and architecture, and you can tell that she helped with this hotel, which is just 2 years old after renovation, so it's like an old mansion, and it's part of historical registry, so they can't change the outside, and they wanted to there's one of the toilets here that we've learned, and so they tried to keep it historical but not too cheesy, sort of. As she said, there's a lot of creepy Victorian, there's a lot of cookie cutter hotels, so yeah, this one is a really nice find, and it feels very homey. I really liked it, and it has like on the ground floor, you just enter and you have this living area with a fireplace, and then a kitchen which you don't use, but she did a welcome drink. I don't know if it's like every day, but we had some wine tasting and some cheese, nuts, and nice conversation. Anyway, perfect start of one night weekend, one night trip. But yeah, I think it's a good discovery trip, and we'll probably be back. But right now we're walking to the restaurant. The place is really cool. I kind of like the vibe. I mean, there's just us and 2 more tables for now. But we're sitting in this sort of veranda area with, you can see, I think they open it in summer potentially. And then on the other side there is like this bar inside area that also nice, but this one kind of felt really, I don't know,
cozy.
Fresh. Yeah, and also we have the best part, is the real fire. I like this place. The waiter came up and told us about the special. That was a fish with butternut squash and green beans, and it sounded really delicious. And he said it's quite a big piece, so we took this one to share and 2 glasses of wine. And they also brought us bread and olive oil. And so we'll see if we still are hungry after fish, and if we are, we're gonna get something else.
Somewhere on the sea, it got a little longer, so it seems.
We ended up getting meatballs and a dessert, which I think was one too many, but it was delicious. And my favorite is still the fish, but the dessert was really nice, and the wine was good. So definitely recommend it. And I overate. And we're back to the hotel and just having a rest. Good morning from our house hotel. We just had a breakfast and it was really nice, so I understand why people post all these nice reviews. So it was more like European kind of breakfast. It had avocado, some spreads, eggs, frittata. So it's quite a choice actually. I don't even remember everything. The downside of this place is that it's an old house, so you can hear people walking on the upstairs floor, on the stairs when they go up, etc. I mean, it wasn't too bad at night because everybody was sleeping, I think, pretty early, but yeah, I think it can get disturbing if you have like different schedules with your neighbors. Still, it's a very nice choice, and it feels like a house of one of your friends. So the plan is to check out and then go enjoy some of the areas and drive back to San Francisco. We are at Yountville, and this is a town known for having a lot of French restaurants, and I like it for having a lot of yellow trees. It's just such a beautiful autumn here. The main street where we are at now has 65 sculptures from different artists, and apparently they're all for sale. So the one funny sculpture I wanted to show you, it's called The Chef. See this guy on a fork? It's a little funny to me. I don't know what you think. So one of the things to go see in Yountville is a famous French laundry. It's free Michelin star restaurant, and it's very popular. I think this is their garden. We didn't book it, but I'll see if we can tour it.
When the tide will turn, one more time I'll break your heart with someone else who will love me this way.
So we're kind of trying to find anybody here to show us around, but nobody's here, so we're just walking around and looking at the garden, and it seems very nice.
I'm gone, I turn away from you. When night comes, I turn away from you, from you.
We're done with our walk in Yountville. A lot of restaurants, and most of them are French restaurants. We kind of had a sneak peek into French Laundry. It was funny because we were trying to find somebody and we didn't, but like in the attempt of doing so, we kind of toured the whole property. So it's a nice town and there are a few nice hotels along the main street, but right now we're gonna drive to one of the nearby wineries and finally do the tasting.
I'm gone, I turn away from you.
We stopped at this random winery. We just saw like this grand entrance with a palms alley, and we just drove. Unfortunately, they don't have any availability for the tasting, but they said, just have a look at the garden, it's pretty. So that's what we're doing, and it is pretty.
I turn away from you. When night comes, I turn away from you. A different way we take, so and I will try to make an easy way for you to turn away.
We're right here in Rutherford, and then Carneros is also its own. Carneros area is going to have more of the Pinot Noirs and the Chardonnays because those are thinner skinned grapes. They don't need as much of the heat that we get out here in the Santa Rita Hills, Santa Barbara area. So that's where these fruits are coming from, and mostly why it's not a Rutherford Hill label. Napa has some strict laws, so if your fruit is not from Napa, you cannot put your name of your winery label. So since we're sister properties sharing fruit with each other, we just put the family name on it. But it's not going to be your typical Chardonnay. See like stone fruits, tropical fruits, little brioche in there, but I mean, if I can drink an entire bottle of this to myself, that does tell me something.
Yeah, it's really good.
Right?
It tells you two things.
Two things. Yes.
Yeah, I really like
First
the
one, it's okay.
battery. And so this one is from Santa Barbara, it's not from here, right?
Yes, yeah. But they truck all the fruits out to us and we do everything for it, so they don't even pour this or sell this down south. Just exclusive to us.
That's good.
It's going to be still mostly Merlot, 73% Merlot with 17% Cabernet Sauvignon and then 10% Petit Syrah. I would say for me, I'm highly obsessed with this one right now. It does have quite a bit of a finish, super dragged out, but the smell and the taste are going to be complete opposite of each other. You get very earthy, but on the palate you get more of that fruit.
That's interesting, yeah.
I would say though the Cuvée vibes have been in my top 3 wines that we make.
It's very different from the previous one.
Right,
It's
very
much
different.
stronger. So we're done with tasting, and it was a little too much for me. The big drinker I am. So yeah, my favorite was Winemaker's Blend in here. It's very soft and smooth, and yeah, this is my favorite. I'm not sure if we're gonna get one, but if we were going to, it's gonna be this. We're driving back to San Francisco and we stopped by these beautiful wines, and I just wanted to share, including thoughts on this trip. It was a cool first visit of Napa Valley and brief discovery of the region, but definitely would love to be back. hopefully it helped you to plan your own trip, know what to enjoy in the region. And we're gonna drive to San Francisco and hopefully catch a beautiful sunset.